Thank you for joining this lesson. We're going to handle Hooke's law, whereby we're going to deal with springs in a system. We are told that the figure 6 below shows two identical springs of spring constant 3 newtons per centimeter supporting a load of 30 newtons. So we have two springs here supported by certain support. Then now they are having a load 30 newtons. Determine the extension of each spring. Let me handle the question in two different approaches. It should be noted that when springs are in a parallel connection of springs, the effective spring constant K, total spring constant, is usually given by N multiplied by K, where N is the number. N is the number of springs. Now, N being the number of springs and K being the spring constant of an individual spring, then it means, for our case here, the resultant spring constant, because the springs are 2 times spring constant of each, which is 3, this will give us 6 newtons per centimeter. So this is the resultant spring constant. Again, it should be noted that from Hooke's law, force is usually given by Ke, and this means for us to get extension, then we will need force divided by spring constant, and this means a force of 30 newtons divided by 6, which is the resultant spring constant, and this will give us exactly 5 centimeters, because the spring constant we are having is newtons per centimeter. So that is the extension on each spring. It should also be noted that alternatively, we could have said on the same question, that in parallel connections, when we have extension total, it should be given by extension of one spring divided by the number of springs. What extension could have been cost on one spring? Then to get resultant extension, we divide by the number. So extension of this system, the extension in this system, we are saying one spring, if it is let to lift this load, because extension is given by force out of constant, then if the 30 newtons were being lifted by one spring, we will have 30 out of 3. This is giving us exactly 10 centimeters. Now with 10 centimeters, you say, if the spring was 1, the extension could have been 10 centimeters. But now they are several. They are 1, 2. So the resultant extension for such a system will be given by, each spring will have total extension divided by number of springs, which are 2, and this will give us 5 centimeters. Thank you for following. Subscribe and share.